Hello, 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 hello. I hope you're doing it amazing. I'm looking for uh, the post that I put in the group because we are going to talk about unattachment today. Yes. So, unattachment is a power of the soul. It honestly is not something that we came here knowing and understanding about, but we can learn all about how to unattach. So what we're unattaching from, let me hold on one second. I need to find where um, someone volunteered their problem of. Okay, here we go, Gail. So Gail has attachments to relationships with children and friends. I expect more communication and they do not reciprocate. Yes, totally get that. I long for deeper relationships with my son and sister, and they do not. It seems. Exactly. So also unattached to getting more people in my yoga class. Okay, that's a whole different subject. But unattaching from your expectations of what you want people to do and how you want them to be in your life. This is what we're talking about. We're not talking about people who we're talking about the expectations, and it's always your expectation. Hello, Jerica, Terry. Oh, hi, Jerica. It's been a long time. Okay, so unattachment happens, or attachment happens through our emotions, through our thought systems, through our belief systems, through our family programming, I want to say, but that's not really the right word, but societal, like how we're supposed to show up in our family or what we're supposed to do in our family or how we're supposed to be. Society has the same kind of programmings or based around those kinds of programmings. They are all based in perception. Now, let me explain about what perception is because this plays a key part in what we expect or how we expect people to be in our life. So, perception is a point of view from your past experiences of an event. So, if you have expectations around how people are supposed to respond to you, then you've had that event happen in your life, right? It's happened in your past. It's taught you through that event, it taught you what to expect from people. Now, what happens where things get really messy is when we have those expectations across the board with everyone that we meet, right? That is the perception. See, that's the perception. The perception says, well, if I have this experience with my mother and it's amazing and great and fulfilling and joyful, then I expect that every place in my life with every person in my life. You see how that event, that relationship with your mother created an expectation based in the perception of how that relationship went. Now, if you're taking and you're having that perception with every relationship, you're setting yourself up to fail. Literally, you're setting yourself up to fail because that's not how people are. So what you're wanting to unattach from is your expectation. You're not wanting to unattach from people. You're wanting to unattach from your expectation of what you believe based on one experience, how your life should be. I had the same thing happen in my life. Like, I wanted my husband to be as expanded as I am, right? It caused a lot of grief, I want to say, on my part because I had the expectation that he should be like me. No, no, no. That's not how it works, right? Like I wanted him to be just as expanded so that I could have conversations with him about expansion. But he had no interest in expanding. until most recently, he had no interest in it. So I had to look at myself and say, okay, well, where am I setting myself up to fail here? Where am I setting my expectations so high that they will never be achieved by anyone? Not just him, but anyone. Because I consider myself fairly expanded. I consider myself pretty expanded. So I was taking what my expectation was of the relationship that he and I had into every area of my life, and it didn't work. So what I needed to unattach from, we don't detach. Detachment is a learned process. Unattachment is a natural flow of the soul, of your essence. So let me know if I'm making sense here so far. If you're hanging with me. Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me. Ooh. So let me know if I'm making sense. Please, hearts, comment, whatever. I just want to make sure that you're clear that it's your expectation that you are really wanting to unattach from before I move on. Okay? So, in order to see where you are attached to someone else, you have to become the witness of your own energy. You have to become the witness of where you have quantum entangled with someone to create an expectation. Yes, makes total sense. Okay, good. Whew. I always, you know, this is where can you tell that this is my passion? Like, these are the kinds of things I just love. Okay, because I can see them, right? So if we are emotionally attached to someone and we want to have amazing relationship with that person, what you're doing is you're projecting your energy onto them, and you're pushing them away, literally. Your energy is literally pushing people away when you have an expectation of something that you expect from them, something that you expect in return from them. Now, anytime that we project our energy onto someone else, there is an instant flag that goes up that says, no, 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 no. Their free will, their energy of free will, unless they're unless they're trained to be really powerless, they will have an instant response that says, no, that's not who I am. That's who you are. And they will mirror it. So what you're doing when you're projecting is you're projecting something out, but that person will mirror back to you exactly what you're projecting. That's how the mirror effect becomes alive. Okay? Still with me. I need to know that you're still with me, because we need to take this in layers. Because unattachment is a big deal, and moving forward, it's even going to be even a bigger deal. So let me know that you're still hanging here. So how we witness our own energy is literally, I want you to do this with me. If you're on here, I want you to, and Jerica, don't do it because you're driving in a car. Okay, so how you become your witness is close your eyes, put your energy in. What I do is I put my hand in front of my heart space, because this is where I'm going to look from. And literally, I'm going to pretend that I have eyes in my hand. I'm going to take my energy and I'm going to pull it out and in front of me. And literally, I'm watching myself. My hand is now my eyes, and I am literally looking at myself. Don't make this hard. It's just an experience. All right? We're not trying to create any meaning for this or nothing. We're just taking the energy, pulling it out. Now I'm looking at myself. When I'm having a conversation with someone, I want to do this because then I can watch and see where I'm projecting my energy and where I'm not, where I'm having expectations and where I'm not, where I'm setting myself up to fail through my emotions or my thoughts or my belief systems and where I'm not. Becoming the witness of yourself is probably one of the most important ascension things that we can do, honestly. It's becoming the witness so that you can see your energy, so that you can understand your energy from a point of view that has no emotion is what the goal is here. You want to witness your thoughts. You want to be able to recognize when you're expecting something that someone cannot return to you. Because when you expect something from someone that they cannot return, you set yourself up to fail. It's a self-sabotaging technique that we have been trained very well to do. So you want to witness your thoughts. You don't want to become your thoughts. You don't want to be your thoughts. You don't want to be your emotions. You want to witness them. You don't want to be your belief systems, even though that we are, but we want to witness them. So then when we can witness them, we know what we're doing. We understand at such a deeper level what you're actually creating. Okay, still hanging in there? Making lots of sense. Okay, good. Now, there's an NLP, which is a neuro-linguistic programming technique, tool that you can use to unattach from your emotions, which I can almost guarantee that your emotions are the culprit in keeping you attached to the relationships that you have expectations in, right? Because the emotional body, you have to know your emotional body so well that you know if you can trust your emotions or if you know that they lie to you. I've talked about this before in the empath video about that's the problem with empaths is like we don't understand our emotional body. We don't understand if the emotions are ours or if they're someone else's. And if you are an empath who does not understand your emotional body, then you cannot trust your emotions. This tool is a really good tool for unattaching yourself to the emotions of any experience, of any relationship, of any expectation. How it works is you take the event, you close your eyes, you think about the event, you allow the emotions to be there. Then what you do is you take that vision that you have in your mind and you push it out of your energy field as far as you possibly can. And you wait a couple moments, and then you bring that vision back to you, the energy of it, right? You bring it back to you and you get it as close as you can, and then you push it away, and then you bring it back, and then you push it away, and then you bring it back, and then you push it away, and then you bring it back, push it away, and you do this for about 10 times. All right? You want to do it for 10 times. And then you bring it back to yourself and then you reassess. You think about, you go and do something so that you can like sort of clear the energy. And then you come back and you think about the experience. And if there's no emotional charge, you have literally unattached yourself from that event. Now you can make some conscious decisions not based in your emotional body. Okay? Everybody's still with me. It's a great tool, great practice to use. Use that to unattach from anything and everything. The next thing is to create a practice of witnessing. Like literally witness yourself and then witness the conversation that you have with other people. Witness your relationship with your partner. Witness relationships with your children. Witness relationships with your phone, like literally. Witness the relationship that you have with nature. Start witnessing everything, because when you take yourself into a witnessing perspective, there's no thoughts, no emotions, no belief systems. You're just watching. You're just observing. You'd be amazed at what you can pick up about yourself when you become the witness of who you are. Okay. Questions? Do you have any dying questions here? I'm going to run back through this thread to see if I got everybody's. Yes. So unattachment does not mean that you leave people. I want to make this very clear. When we unattach, we just emotionally unattach from the perspective of a prior event. Means nothing else. Doesn't mean that we have to leave people. See, there's this whole crazy theory out there that when we ascend, we have to leave people behind. No, that's not true. I've never left my husband behind. And he's like almost total opposite of who I am. It was me that had to change. It wasn't our relationship that had to change. It was me. It's always me. You see, it's always me. It's always you. It's not someone else. It's just always you and me. We're the ones. Yes, Gail, you keep doing this exercise, this NLP exercise, or become a witness, or both, right? Every single time that you feel a charge, especially if you cannot trust your emotions. Now, keep in mind that emotions are not evil. They're not the bad guy here. They do alert us to certain things, but you have to understand your emotional body so well that you know if you can trust it or if you can't trust it. Because if you can trust your emotional body, fantastic. Very few people have that ability, but there are people who do have that ability. You have to understand your emotions, because it's the emotional charge that keeps you in your expectation of what you think you desire. Now, if you want deep conversations with people, find people who want deep conversations. That's what I had to do, right? You have to find people, soul people, not like-minded people, because, and you know what? Heaven forbid if it's if it's your family, honest to God, because we don't always choose families that are soul families, right? We choose families for the experience that we want to have. And so if you want to have deep conversations, find people who want to have deep conversations with you, honestly. So how do you control a reaction to an event? Yes, it's from practice, honestly. There's a big difference between reaction and response. When you become the witness of who you are and you actually witness an event or a relationship or a conversation that you're having, you'll identify where you're reacting emotionally, because reaction comes from emotion. And when you're responding consciously, it's a huge difference. It's like duality. It is duality, right? So pay attention to that. Response, reaction, not even equal, not even the same. When you witness yourself, you'll figure that out. It's beautiful. Also learn to accept person or situations and just send love. Yeah, right? Like with my spouse, like I had to accept that it's a possibility he may never expand as much as I am. And I'm good with that now. There was a point in time where I was like, What do I do here? Because I really want to have this kind of a relationship. But who wasn't showing up in the relationship? It wasn't him, it was me. I'm the one that was not showing up the way I wanted my relationship to be. I was expecting him to start a conversation about souls, and that was never going to happen. You see how I was just literally self-sabotaging myself? Great experience in my life. And I was doing with someone who I love, right? But I was the one that wasn't showing up in the relationship. I was the one that wasn't initiating conversations, and I wasn't the one that was accepting him for not being as expanded as I was. So Gail, a women's circle with like-minded people, amazing connections. Make sure that they are your soul people. Like-minded people are not the same as like-hearted people. Again, there's a duality here. There's a difference between like-minded people who like help you expand, people who are like on the same sort of path, the same intuition or psychic, or where you can learn from. Those are like-minded people. When you find like-hearted people, the people who have the same mission, the same beautiful understanding about themselves and about humanity and about the shift in consciousness and the same mission, the same like deep soul purpose, like then you're on a totally different level, honestly. But you'll figure that out when you go. No worries. Does one person trigger us more than others? Of course, but why are you having triggers in your life? Right? Like, why are you having triggers? You're creating a person in your life to trigger you. It's true. That's how it works. You're creating a person in your life to trigger you. Why? Do you need a trigger? I mean, you're setting yourself up to fail based on your expectations. Right? Like that's how you become attached, is by creating people in your life who will trigger you. Do you see how it works? Like there's definitely a loop here, right? And it's okay if you like being triggered, or if you know that if you are consciously making a decision to have a person in your life to trigger you, then go for it, right? If that's your purpose, then make that happen. But if it sends you down some sort of backward spiral, down a rabbit hole of some sort, and you're emotionally a mess for days on end, I would ask, why? What's the real purpose of having a trigger in your life? Yeah, TT, you have to change, not that person. You're the one that gets to change. All right, all my beautiful love beings. Don't you just love it when things make sense and you can change the way that you are and life just flows? That's what unattachment will do for you. Unattaching from your emotional response or your emotional reaction based on the past, it never serves you. Never. It never serves you. I love you all dearly. I love you dearly. Have an amazing day. And keep the questions coming, right? Like, keep the things that you want to learn about coming, because then I know where to go. Until next time.